2012, I came across a number of statistics, beyond statistics, realities of lots of children who were out of school. Either they were on the streets, hawking or begging or just roaming about, or they were in certain communities, but in their numbers, these children were out of school. I was 7 at that point. That was during my National Youth Service. And coming across these children, it really struck me that something really needed to be done. And I asked myself a number of questions. What will National Youth Service be in the sense of it? After the 1 year, would it just be working, my 9 to 5, which was in the bank at that point, or ensuring that these children have the opportunity to get access to education? And so after about 8 months in the bank, I had to resign. I got a number of my friends together, and we were able to raise funds to get 118 children into schools for the first time 3 months after my resignation. For me, that was a huge success story. And if we could have done that in 3 months, it meant that a whole lot more could have been done. That was primarily how the journey began. And between 2012 and 2018, over 32,000 children have actually benefited from a series of our programs, with over 1,100 getting scholarships into several schools. Some of these children who stay from primary school back then are now in senior secondary school across various communities. We have a number of our community youths who we also supported back then who are now in universities. So for me, it basically just tells that as young people, we can do so much. The success we've recorded, in the numbers of children who have benefited from series of our programs, are the thousands of young volunteers, young people who have realized that it's not just enough to complain and criticize, that we could also be part of the solution. And since 2012, we've had over 8,000 volunteers from 32 countries who have worked with us in over 18 communities across Nigeria.
Welcome with a warm applause.
I think
Not just yet.
There's a difference between a job, a career, and a calling. We all need to realize that whilst a job can always come and go, a career could be a job over a period of time. But your calling is the assignment you've been brought to this world to fulfill. While the job could be about you and the career could be about you, your calling is for the world, it's for your community. And I think we all need to realize what our callings are and bring it to light. We all need to realize that we need to live beyond ourselves. We need to live beyond our means or immediate environment. We all need to realize that we are the light that this nation really needs. And the earlier we start shining that light, the faster this nation shall develop.
Me as we welcome Orondaam Otto.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very honored. When Yvonne was speaking, I almost cried, sitting down there and hearing everyone who has spoken, Ini, and also Childberry. It just tells us that lots of young people in this nation are the ones who will really, really build this nation to become the destination of the future. We have great potentials, we have great opportunities, and everybody is really looking forward to that change. But we are the change. Everyone seated in this room, we have solutions, we have great potentials to make that change. So I think we all need to give ourselves a round of applause. And we all need to start acting. I'm going to quickly just appreciate a few people, our team of volunteers. I know they're somewhere in the room. Some people are watching from home. You guys are heroes, Young people across the continent, across the nation. We've had over 8,000 volunteers who have come and given their time without requesting for anything. And when you see the success we've recorded at SlumtoSchool, it's primarily because of them. So I want you guys to know that you're doing a great job wherever you are, wherever you're watching from. We appreciate you. Our friends, our families, our supporters, and most importantly, our children. They told me, Uncle Otto, we must come with you. And today, I have about 50 of them over there. We actually were supposed to come with about 30, but this morning we heard that more of them came to school. And they said if we do not go, nobody is going. So they held us hostage. When I listened to Ini's story, I told myself that I've never really told the story why I started SlumtoSchool. So many times I just tell people, I was working in the bank and I got to see these children and I felt something needed to be done. Because I saw those children and I knew that could have been me. My dad was a very hard-working public servant. He was in the Nigerian military. He was a senior officer. My mom as well, hard-working. She was a nurse at some point. And my dad was so honest with his job. In fact, at some point, he left the Nigerian army because he said that they were too corrupt and that he didn't want to destroy his integrity. My dad always taught us something that the greatest asset you have is your integrity. Yeah. It's your name. Yeah. Do not jeopardize it for anything. And so he was in public service. He's a medical doctor. And he rose up to the ranks of, becoming the chief medical director at BMH. For most of you who are in Port Harcourt or who would know, that's like one of the biggest and the number one government hospital in Rivers State. And I could remember when I got admission to go to secondary school. I had 5 different schools: the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Air Force, the UDSS, which was University of Port Harcourt Demonstration Secondary School, the FGGC, and one other one. And my dad said he wanted me to go to the best. Shortly after then, himself and a number of people were taken off. It's a very tough story, basically. But that happened, and there were lots of issues. In fact, there was a point where we did not even have money to pay certain fees. And my dad was about starting his clinic. And he said he was going to sell those equipments, sell some of the things he had built up and saved over time because he wanted to ensure that I went to school. The same thing for my younger ones. We all went to great schools. We all went to great universities. And he told himself that even if he doesn't buy a pair of shoes, he will make sure that we never owe a day school fees and we never stay at home. That was my dad. And so when I found myself working in the bank in 2012, and somehow one day I walked into the Makoko community, just beneath the Third Mainland Bridge. I had watched the community severally. There was a time BBC had a documentary, and it was called Welcome to Lagos. And they showed this community in a very terrible light. And I told myself, when I get to Lagos, I want to see that community. And I got into Lagos. I went into Makoko, and I was stunned by what I saw. I could see children who were not in school. I could see children who were just sitting at home, who were playing in the mud. And I told myself, this could be me. I'm working in the bank, earning a good pay, but these children would never have that opportunity. And that was how I resigned from the job in the bank and got my friends together, and we began this journey. Today, over 32,000 children. And for me, that was the first issue I realized. The first issue I encountered, children who were not in school. But as I got deeper into the education sector, I realized that our problem is not just the children who are not in school, but the children who are in school but are not learning. Because their teachers are not educated. Because what we are teaching the children are outdated, irrelevant subjects and courses. I speak with these children every other day, and they tell me, we do not like school. If you go online, if you have a phone, just Google school is, and see the first thing that comes up. It says school is a waste of time. We confuse schooling for education. And we've developed a system which was designed for the industrial age. To get mass production, get workers who would come out. But our parents told us, go to school, work hard, study, so you come out and do what? Get a job. But today, there are no jobs. The narrative needs to change. And our school system is being designed without taking into cognizance the skills, the potentials of every individual child. We have a system that is designed for everyone. So you bring 100 children or 50 children, put them in a class, and give them the same thing. So these children are being taught to memorize and just to pass exams. Schools are not teaching children to think or how to think. They are teaching them what to think. So you have children who are going to school but come out as robots. And today, robots are going to take over all the jobs. If you're aware of what's going on in the technology ecosystem, you see that the future of jobs will change. And if children are not prepared for the future, we're going to have a huge crisis. Today, we have huge rates of unemployment. We have huge rates of underemployment. But we are not preparing to mitigate the huge crisis that's going to come ahead. And so I'm going to just show a few examples of some of our kids whose lives can be changed. And these are just examples of few kids that reflect the larger spectrum of children across the continent and across this nation. This is Solomon. Didn't go to school until we met him in 2012. In 2013, he had never, ever stepped his foot outside his community. And we went for a swimming competition with children from Corona, Lagos Preparatory. Just name it. He comes from Makoko. And by the time they blew the whistle, in 2 seconds, he was at the end of the water. The other kids were still trying to find their foot. But guess what? He was not on his lane. He came out on the last lane. That is the potential, but this child is going to be forced to go to school and study maths and English and 18 different subjects because that is what the education system has forced us to put our children to. That was him lifting the trophy with several other children. That is Sisiano. She's over there as well. They're all there. At the age of three, she started paddling the canoe, going to fetch water, at the age of 3. And all of them almost go through those same experiences from Makoko to Sogunro to Epe to Takwa Bay. Across these countries, we have children who are filled with lots of amazing potentials, but they are limited by our educational system. She can be a professional kayaker winning gold medalists at the Olympics for us. But she's forced to spend 16 years of her life in a system where she comes out without remembering what she was taught, because she was taught to memorize and pass exams rather than learning to be innovative and proffer solutions to the issues around her community. That's good luck. Also over there, primary 6. We had the GMD of Access Bank visit us during the Children's Day. And Good Luck said, Uncle Otto, this is a very important person that is coming to see us. I want to make a pair of shoes for him. He's learned how to make shoes. And in 24 hours, Good Luck made that pair of shoes and presented it to Mr. Herbert Wigwe. He was so excited, he promised all of them laptops. And promised Good Luck 100,000 naira, which he gave to him, and every day Good Luck comes and says, I want 10,000 naira from that money. I want 15,000 naira from that money. And I'm sure he would have spent that money completely right now. But beyond all of that, our goal is to keep on supporting them to make sure they realize their fullest potential. And that was then when he invited them to his office as well. Amazing children. You can even see someone we say she's blown. Sharon. She's on CNN. Most of you would have seen Abisoye's video, the girls coding. Sharon is one of our pioneer beneficiaries, 2012. And amazingly, she's a very bright girl, very bright. In fact, she passed all her papers, had over 12 A's in her junior WAEC. Extremely smart, but similar issues with education. And she finished the primary school. Some of our friends in Teach a Girl gave her support. She went into secondary school, and then Girls Coding came and took it further and taught her how to code. Today, Sharon has built an app that gets people to buy fishes from Makoko community anywhere in Lagos. And I think you all need to patronize her. In fact, I was speaking to BCA the other day and asking her when the voting will start so that we can push it and ensure that that money comes to Nigeria. The first time a CNN hero is being nominated from Nigeria. I think they deserve a round of applause. The last, I think, is Jolemo. A very, very amazing young boy. I wouldn't want to talk about his story because I don't want to be emotional up here. But he doesn't have his father, he doesn't have his mother. And he wakes up in the morning, he has to go and get wood for his grandmother to prepare what will be sold that day. He goes to school, he comes back. And this was Lagos Kids Marathon last year, or 2 years ago, last year, I think. And I told them, because one of the things we do is collaborate with schools. We try to ensure that there's a partnership between these children and some of the brightest schools. And one of the things we've realized is that when all of them come into one room, these kids always beat them. It just tells us that every child is a star. Every child is a candle waiting to be lit. And our role is to keep lighting as many candles as possible because they are the solution this nation really, really needs. And we asked them, how many of you can run? They've never done a marathon. We've never done a marathon. But it was an opportunity for them to go. It was hosted by St. Xavier's School, one of our partner schools as well. And this guy ran from the school to Falomore Bridge and back to the school. I think he put all his problems in his head that day and he ran. He ran. He's never done a marathon before, and he was second position. The first guy has been running. In fact, he represents Lagos State in that category. It just tells you how much these children can be. It tells you that with the same opportunity, with the same platform, these children are stars waiting to shine. All of them. This picture was taken in 2012. Samuel in front. He's in JSS 3. Deborah is also sitting over there. Her elder sister, she's in primary 6. Her elder sister, Iyabo, is also there. She's in JSS 2. The guy paddling the canoe, Alfred, is in SS 2. Amazing children. And one of the things we realized was they just need the same opportunities, the same platform. And I told myself, one of the things I love to do is to design spaces, to make spaces that are creative. Not just as a business, but these children need the best. We do not need to take them to a St. Saviour's or to a Corona or to a Lagos Preparatory or a British International. Let's bring those schools down to their community. And so we started setting up spaces. We built an early childhood development center so the children who have never been to school can come in there and learn and get a fast-track education. Now we have 3 of that. We set up a computer development lab, and guess what? The goal was for this lab to serve children from just 3 schools. But because this is the best lab on the mainland, 27 schools are using it. And I mean public primary schools. We've had to change the tiles in that place 2 times because I don't know if the children come with shoes from their communities that break. But you can imagine so many children who would never have seen a computer or touch the computer if the space was not there. We designed a school clinic and ensured that all the spaces were inspiring. So the children would love to be in those spaces. We told them, it doesn't mean you should leave your class and come and fall sick though. And so we put a bookshelf there and a chair. And so whenever they are sick or whenever they pretend to be sick, we tell them, okay, take the book and start reading. Now these children feel so confident, so proud, because the things they see in the schools when they go on school exchange, they have it in their community. Their confidence has increased. Their level of thinking has also increased. And recently, we told ourselves that if we can give these children the best in the country, we set up a STEM and Innovation Lab in partnership with InterSwitch. Thanks to them for the support. And this is a STEM and Innovation Lab that we had set up. We brought in their community into the space, put in a keke napep, put a canoe with computers on it. And the children are maximizing it. In fact, they come, they don't want to go home by 7 o'clock. It's like, please, their parents will come to the gate and be like, what is going on here? They are all stars waiting to shine. All they need is the same opportunity. And we left these kids with the computers without even teaching them. This was on the 2nd week. And guess what? Guess what? That's supposed to be a video. The kids took the computers and designed amazing things. I wish that video plays.
It's in the solar system. We revolve around the sun. Join us to learn about the different planets.
We didn't teach them how to do this. They did it themselves.
My name is Mercury. I'm the second hottest planet, the closest one to the sun. A year on my surface is 88 days. I'm the smallest, but I'm lots of fun. My name is Venus. I'm the hottest planet, but the second planet from the sun. I'm the brightest planet in our solar system, and I'm too hot for anyone.
And this is basically because all they needed were just the opportunities, just the platform, just the same infrastructure that their contemporaries across the world would have access to. And today they're coming up with all kinds of solutions. I've spoken for about 15 minutes. They told me, they warned me before coming. I mean our kids. They warned me, they said, Uncle Otto, if you're going, you're not the only one speaking. You must allow us speak. And so I'm going to be sharing this stage with them. Make me proud, okay? Is there, no. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to let them be. Is there a mic for them? Please, let's put our hands together for them.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alade Miriam. I'm 12 years old and I'm in GSS 2. Few days ago, Uncle Otto told us that he's coming for a program and we asked him if he can come along. Then he told us he would get back to us. When he came back, he told us that we can come along. And like Oliver Twist, we asked, can we speak? Then he told us that it is for adults. And we told him if the topic is the new tribe of Africa, fighting poverty and changing the face of the continent, we are in the best position to talk about that. And it is only a person that wears the shoe that knows where it's hot. That is why we came up with solutions to the problems in our community. But before we talk about this, my colleagues are going to introduce themselves.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Susa Charles. I'm 13 years old. I'm one of the beneficiaries of SlumtoSchool. I was not opportune to start school early because most people in my community don't appreciate education. I was in the community, not going to school, helping my parents. There was a fateful day that I met some volunteers of SlumtoSchool, and they promised to enroll and support me in school. Since then, I've been able to do so many great things. This is one of the great things, standing in front of the new tribe of Africans. I'm very happy and excited to be here. I want to become an architect and remote my community to a global tourist attraction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. My name is Ikechukwu Esther. I'm in JSS 3. I'm one of SlumtoSchool beneficiaries. I wasn't opportune to start school early, and that was because of financial limitations. But later on, I was enrolled to school, and in my primary school, I met SlumtoSchool. I've been able to do great things. I've been able to create things. And through Slum to School, I got people that have been sponsoring me in school, people that have been taking care of me in school. And with this, I want other children out there to be educated, because they made me to understand that education is the key to success, the best legacy, and the only weapon we use to change the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Usuga Deborah. I'm in SS1. I was not opportune to start school early due to some financial limitations, as my colleagues had said earlier, but I met Slum to School volunteers, and they promised to enroll me into school, and they fulfilled their promise and enrolled me to primary school. And since then, they have been helping and supporting my needs in school. And I've been doing great things. Before, I had stage fright, but now Slum to School has removed me. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Okechukwu Emmanuel. I'm 16 years old. I'm in SS1. I'm among the beneficiaries of Slum to School, and I'm from Makoko community. I would like to tell you a story about myself. I was able to go to attend the school at a very tender age, but due to some challenges in my family, they were unable to provide my school materials. But through the help and support of Slum to School for the past few years, I've been able to do great things, and now understand how important education is to every child. We all believe every child is a treasure, and they need a world-class education. Am I right? So we need to stand up for them to provide this education they need, because every child has the right to be educated. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kan Robert. I am 14 years old. I am in GS2. I started school at a tender age due to financial age. Times went on. I lost my dad. It was burden on my mom. But since I've made Slum to School, I've been able to do many great things, and there are many other children out there, and I know that they have great talents. So we have to help them. So they can showcase their talents. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for the brief introduction. In my own case, I was opportune to start school early because my parents knew the value of education. But along the line, I lost my grandfather, which was a burden on my grandmother because my family was an extended one. At some point, I met Slum to School, and they've been supporting me. And like Deborah have said, I had stage fright before. Even to do debate between my classmates was a problem. But now I can stand in front of thousands of people to talk. Through Slum to School, I've been able to attend mentorship classes, community development programs, psychosocial support, and medical outreach. I'm just 12 years old, and I figured out I have different great potentials. I want to become a pilot so that I can, when Charleston is community into a tourist attraction, I would bring people with my aeroplane to see what we. And I also want to become a journalist so that I will speak about the rights of every other child in Nigeria, especially in Africa. And I also want to become a basketballer because I can play basketball. Because I can play basketball and because of my height. So I would be a basketballer and I will win the World Cup for Africa. Now back to business. As children across the African continent, we face similar challenges, from Lagos to Port Harcourt, from Abuja to Borno, from Johannesburg to Cape Town, from Freetown to Monrovia. Across Africa, we face similar challenges. And some of these children can be the next Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Uncle Otto, Mr. Oscar. and other great peoples. And if we do not help these children, we are the new tribe of Africa, and we are going to change the face of the world. But we are not going to change the world alone. We need other children across the African continent to join us so we can change the face of the continent. That is why we came up with innovative solutions to these problems. One of these problems is education. Do you know that education is negotiation? Because it is a way of getting one's need met without using guilt, anger, or intimidation. Take, for example, the Agberos in the community. If they have attended school, they won't be using force, threat, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty to get what they want. So we need other children in Africa to join us so that they won't become like these Agberos. And starting from my left-hand side, can you please list the problems, the issues that we face in our community?
Thank you, Miriam, for giving me this privilege. We have numerous challenges that we are facing across Nigeria, and there are many, but I will just mention some. We have malnutrition, teenage pregnancy, lack of health care facilities, and so many on.
Thank you, Esther, for highlighting the issues. Now, Charles, can you please pick one of these issues that Esther have highlighted and shed more light on it?
Thank you, Miriam. The issue I'm most concerned about is lack of education. This issue has been affecting young people like me in the community a lot. You as a new tribe and we as a newer tribe can't just stand and be looking at them. Can't just stand and be looking at this problem. Let's take, for instance, in the next 10 years, I'm someone great, and these children that did not have the opportunity I have then became the armed robber that will be robbing Nigeria. When there's a word that says, when there is one candle in the darkness, it's still dark. Two, it's still dark. These children are the candle, and they need to be lit so as for us to build the Nigeria of our dream. Thank you.
Deborah, Charles said the problem about education. Can you please tell us the solutions?
To me, I think we have to support Mr. Otto to support the children, not only in Makoko, but also in Africa, all the Nigeria, and also out of the country, so that we can have more important children, and also to bring more important people to help our country and to bring more good things to this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Emmanuel, out of all these problems that Esther have highlighted, pick one and shed more light on it.
Thank you for the question, Miriam. Lack of affordable healthcare facility is one of the challenge we face in our community and other communities across Nigeria. There are few healthcare facilities in our community, and most people in the communities can't afford the payment. And those living on the lagoon can't have access to the ones on the land, which has resulted to losing our beloved ones. Just recently, we lost one of our closest friends just because he was unable to have access to the healthcare facilities we have on land. And this has caused and this has resulted to the rate of increase in the rate of death in our communities and so many other communities across Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Deborah, please, the solutions to these problems.
So I would like to tell the solution. So for we to put a stop to the increase of death in some of these communities, we and SlumtoSchool came up with an innovative solution. Here is a design of what we came up with, making a water ambulance to get quick attention to those in the lagoon. And guess what? Some of the beneficiaries of SlumtoSchool were the ones that designed this, and it can move. Please, let's give them a round of applause. So we would need your support so we can make this a reality. Thank you.
Robert, can you please shed more light on one of these problems or issues?
One of these problems are child abuse. In our community, there are many children out there that are not going to school. Their parents may have the money to send them, but they won't. All they want is the child's hope for them. And this is very, very bad. One of my friends in school, he's not going to school again. He lives with his aunts. So his aunt children goes to school, and he will stay at home selling for his aunts. This is getting too much. He ran away for like 4 months before they found him. And when they found him, they took him to his parents. This is really causing bad things in our communities. This needs to change. These children, they are the light, they are the future of tomorrow. They are the future leader.
As the newer tribe of Africa, fighting poverty and changing the face of the continent, can you please tell us the solution you profile to this problem?
The solution we came up with is to have seminar with the parents and parents' guidance and the caregiver, telling them the bad effects of child abuse. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Esther, thank you for highlighting the problems. Can you now please choose one from the problems you highlighted and tell us and shed more light on it?
Pregnancy is the major challenge that we face in our community and across Nigeria. I'm 16 years old and I know of 10 girls in my community that already have children. And this is because they don't want to be educated, because their parents does not value education for some girls because they think it's another man's property. So they don't feel like training girls in school. And this is getting too much because especially in the northern parts of the country, they give girls out at tender age for marriage without wanting to know what the girl has for her future, to know who she is really, but they just give them out. So I think needs to be changed. We are all.
Thank you, Esther. Please, if we say that it should continue, today we cannot use today to mention all the problems. Can you please tell us the solution you prefer to this problem?
Okay. We came up with a solution like creating a club for girls to talk to them and consecrate them in school.
They are all telling me that they have not finished talking. Thank you very much.
The platform is powered by Covenant Christian Center.
Tell you how bad our education system is. A very bright girl, and that is Deborah over there. She comes from a family with lots of challenges. Please, you can sit down, please. And she struggled to get into secondary school. We tried to ensure she stayed in school. GSS 1, GSS 2, GSS 3, SS1. I think she deserves a round of applause. She could have been married, she could have been pregnant, she could have had a child, but she wanted to pursue her education. And this is just to tell you that our education system does not recognize the individuality and the challenges every child that is peculiar to every child. Now, last year, during the final exam, to promote them into SS2, Deborah scored in computer education 60, it was a C4. In commerce, 63, it was a B3. In English, 58, it was C5. In accounting, 64, it was C4. In civic education, 76, it was an A1. In mathematics, she scored 44. The class teacher's remark said, she is obedient. The principal's comment said, very poor academic performance. And she's made to repeat. Now, we know this because this is someone who is like our child. But imagine the numerous numbers of children. And this result was printed on a photocopied sheet, meaning it's going to be used for so many children whose result will say very bad performance. The schools do not have a personal connection with these children. And these are public schools. I think we all need to stand up and fight for the rights of every child. It's not just to sit down and think that we're going to be moving in the right direction when we pray and we fast and we think Nigeria is going to be great. This is our prayer. This is our fast. We need to stand up because these children have great potentials. Their potentials are not just killed because they sit at home. When they go into school and sit in the classroom, that's where their potentials die. And it must change. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and happy Independence Day.